In a small village nestled between the mountains, where houses were built close together, there lived a boy named Aras. Aras was a good kid, hardworking, sensible, respectful toward his parents. But deep inside him was a fear that troubled him every single night, the fear of darkness. As soon as the sun went down, Aras's heart would start racing. He never turned off the light in his room. Whenever the house lights went out, he'd run straight to his mother's room. He couldn't even go to the bathroom alone at night. He was growing older, but this fear of his wasn't fading away. His friends, whenever they found out about this, would sometimes tease him. "Aras is a child of the light," they'd say. These words hurt Aras deeply, but he couldn't hide his fear either. Aras's father, a man named Ramat Khan, was an elder in the village who had seen a great deal in his life. He watched his son struggle with this fear, but he never scolded him for it. He knew that scolding only made fear grow bigger. One night, while Aras was sleeping in his room, the entire village's electricity suddenly went out. The darkness was so thick that Aras couldn't see anything at all. His heart pounded violently. He screamed, "Mom! Mom!" His mother came rushing in, but she only had a small oil lamp, no bright light. She held Aras close and said, "Don't be scared, son. I'm here." But Aras was in such distress that he couldn't sleep the entire night. The next morning, Ramat Khan called his son over and said, "Aras, today I'm going to tell you a story." Aras sat down, and his father began. "Many years ago, when I was your age, I was terrified of the dark too. I couldn't sleep at night. My heart used to tell me that something, a ghost or a spirit, was hiding in the darkness, waiting to harm me." Aras was stunned. "You were scared too?" Ramat Khan smiled. "Yes, son. Every human being is afraid of something. Being afraid isn't a bad thing, but running away from fear, that's the real problem. One day," he continued, "my father, your grandfather, gave me a task. He said, 'Tonight, you're going to walk alone to the edge of the forest, where the old well is, and bring back a stone from there.' I was terrified. I refused. But my father said, 'Son, if you run from this fear today, it will stay with you for the rest of your life. If you face it today, even if your legs are shaking, this fear will grow weak forever.'" Aras was listening closely. His father continued, "I gathered my courage. My legs were trembling. My heart was pounding hard, but I started walking. Every sound along the way felt like a ghost to me. When the wind blew, it felt like someone was behind me. But I kept walking. When I reached the well, I picked up a stone and ran back home. By the time I got there, I was completely out of breath. But there was also a strange sense of joy inside me. I had faced my fear. After that night, the darkness never felt as terrifying to me again, because I had learned a lesson. Fear always feels bigger than it truly is until we actually face it. Aras asked, "Dad, do you want me to do something like that too?" Ramat Khan said, "No, son, I won't force you, but I want you to understand. Fear only holds power over us as long as we don't confront it. The day we face our fear, it loses its strength." That night, Aras lay in his room, thinking about everything his father had said. A new thought crossed his mind. He wondered, could I do this too? The next day, Aras told his father, "Dad, tonight I want to sleep alone in my room with the lights off, no one with me." Ramat Khan was surprised, but he nodded happily. "That's wonderful, son. But remember, if you need anything, I'll be in the next room." Night fell. Aras turned off the light in his room. Darkness filled the space. His heart began pounding hard. His hands trembled. Part of him wanted to turn the light back on. But he remembered his father's words. Fear only holds power over us as long as we don't confront it. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He told himself, "This is just darkness. There's no ghost here.
This is just my mind trying to scare me. He lay there, breathing slowly. Little by little, his heartbeat began to settle. His fear started to ease. He began thinking about
school, about his friends, and slowly he drifted off to sleep. When he woke up in the morning, he could hardly believe it. He had spent the entire night alone in the dark, and nothing bad had happened. He ran to his father, overjoyed, and said, "Dad, I did it! I slept alone the whole night." Raymond Khan embraced his son and said, "I'm so proud of you, son. Today you didn't just face the darkness, you learned the greatest lesson of your life." But the story doesn't end there. Ariz's fear didn't disappear completely in just one night. There were still nights when he felt scared again, nights when he wanted to turn the light back on. But now he had a new weapon, the knowledge that he had already faced this fear before. Every time he confronted his fear, it grew a little weaker. Months later, Ariz had become a boy who wasn't afraid of the dark at all. His friends who used to tease him were now amazed at how much he had changed. One day, a friend asked him, "Ariz, how did you become so..."
"Ariz, how did you become so brave?" Ariz smiled and replied, "I'm not brave. I still get scared sometimes, even now. But now I know running from fear makes it grow bigger, and facing fear makes it grow smaller." Friends, this story isn't just about the fear of darkness. This story is about every fear we experience in life. The fear of trying something new, the fear of what people will say, the fear of failure, the fear of being alone. Every one of us carries some kind of fear inside, and that's not a weakness. It's simply part of being human. But the difference lies in this. Some people spend their whole lives running from their fear, while others, one day, gather the courage to face it. As long as we keep running from our fear, it keeps growing bigger in our minds. But the day we gather the courage to face it, even with trembling hands, even with a pounding heart, that's the day the fear starts losing its power.
So the next time a fear holds you back, remember Ariz. Don't run, face it. Because the day you face your fear, you'll win the greatest victory of all, the victory over yourself. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so more motivational stories like this keep coming your way. See you in the next story.